Hello and welcome to our E3 post analysis of the shows that we saw in LA. And I'm here with Kat, obviously. Hi, Kat.
Hello.
So we're going to go over some of the games that we saw at E3 this year from Microsoft, Sony and Nintendo, and some of the third-party stuff as well. We won't go over everything, we'll just go over some of the big ones that kind of caught our eye. So let's jump straight into it, Kat. The big one was, well, I suppose one of the big ones was we got Microsoft doing their Xbox coverage, and it was their announcement or final revealing of the Xbox One X. So We've got a price for it now, $499 and £449 here in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
We also got to see loads of exclusives. Apparently a lot of it was indie stuff. But what was your take on that? What was your thoughts and impressions on their presentation? What did you like or dislike?
Everything that we said would happen kind of did happen, and not in an optimistic way.
Yeah.
So there weren't that many exclusives, really any big exclusives. The only one that they really went out there with was Forza 7, which everyone knew was going to happen anyway. It did impress me, price-wise as well. That's way too far out for me, for someone who doesn't even have a 4K TV. So I guess they'll attract the people who really, really care about hardware.
Yeah.
But games-wise, it's not enough to make me want to get one. So I think they kind of fell a bit flat on that presentation.
Yeah, they announced a couple of exclusives. They got Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Sea of Thieves, Crackdown 3, along with Forza.
Yeah.
And some of them, like Ori, looks really nice. Sea of Thieves, we got to see a little bit more of the gameplay this time.
Yeah, it was the one last year from their conference that I thought looked quite promising. But again, they showed it off last year. I kind of thought they'd have come a bit further with that.
Yeah, we kind of hope we would have seen something like Halo 6.
Even a teaser for Halo would have done quite well for them, but for me it fell flat.
I think, like, obviously the biggest thing we talked about was, we've talked about this for many episodes now, was the price point was one of the big worries about it. And $499 or £450, it is kind of sort of hitting that upper level for games consoles. The worst thing I think they've got now going for them is the fact that the PlayStation 4 Pro is going to be $150 to £150 here in the UK, cheaper and possibly even cheaper than that once it comes out in the once we get to Christmas time. So the price is a big problem. Now, we had Mike Ybarra and we've also had Phil Spencer. They've been going on, harping on about the quality, the specs.
Yeah.
It's like the equivalent of $1,000 PC, $1,500 PC. Like we've discussed in the podcast, I don't really think that matters to the average gamer.
No, I don't think so at all. Especially if you think about like sort of the age range of people who play games as well. A lot of them are teenagers and things, and they'll be asking their parents to get them a new console. Just me, my parents would never, ever pay over £400 for a new console when, to be honest, they probably have got one of this generation of consoles already, which can play the same games.
And what is it really giving you? A little bit better 4K, a little bit better frame rates.
Yeah.
It's not really a selling point. I think it's really only going to appeal the people that are doing it as a more egotistical side of things.
Yeah, people who want to have the most powerful console and who really, really care about that sort of thing, who'll actually go and check to see which is the best console for graphics.
And fair enough, Microsoft's Phil Spencer has said that's who they're kind of aiming for. But I just don't see the purpose in it.
I don't see it either. Like, if you're trying to kind of come back, which is like what I thought they were trying to do with this whole thing, is come back from being behind with the PS4 and the PS4 Pro. Yeah, I'm sure they've got it now hardware-wise, but as I keep on saying, you need the games to back it up. You need the games to sell the consoles, because what's the point in having this console if you can just play the same games as the Xbox One? And I know now they're going to have backwards compatibility for Xbox original games, which that's a really good idea, but it's still not enough for me. Still not enough.
So moving on to Sony then. Sony had a pretty decent conference this year, I feel. PlayStation 4 and PlayStation VR. Let's jump into some of those games. There was a bunch of games. We obviously saw more stuff for God of War, Days Gone, Spider-Man. But what was the big ones for yourself? What was the ones that stood out for you, Kat? Because I know you're a big PlayStation fan, and you've been looking forward to a few games there.
I have. I've been really looking forward to Detroit Becoming Human. So it was nice to see another character and get a little bit more of a rounded view of what the story's going to be like. Because I feel like since they've announced it, they've teased a little bit more and given you a little more spread out view of what the story is going to be about. And it's really exciting. So just to be able to see the branching out, all the different possibilities, I think that's really, really good, because it's like their previous games, which I also really enjoyed. So that's Quantic Dream, who have also got Beyond Two Souls, Fahrenheit, which I played years and years ago, and Heavy Rain, which I only played last year, and it was really, really good. So I'm looking forward to that one. I don't think we've got an exact release date for it.
I've not got a date for it, no. I think
exclusives?
the other ones, there was stuff for Hidden Agenda. This is a PlayLink game. Do you know what the PlayLink thing was? That was where you're using the mobile phone now. And it's like an interactive party type game where you choose the decisions. And the one that was Hidden Agenda, you were a cop. And it was kind of like, looked like Until Dawn style of graphics. It's by that same company. And you're basically trying to work out, you're like a detective or something, and you're trying to work out, and you'll sit there and you'll make decisions, but you might be someone that's got a secret hidden agenda.
See, that's the sort of thing that appeals to me as well, because I like a little bit of mystery, and I love the decision-making part of these
But what
games.
I'm worried about is if you're sitting there and there's 4 of you, like it's saying in a group situation, you're sitting there and someone's got the phone and then like, yeah, I'm leaving now. But wait, we've got a decision to make. Cancel.
Yeah, I think that has potential to be really fun. I think that's what we definitely need is more games that are going to bring more people together, because I really like a good co-op kind of game.
Only thing that, like, PlayStation's conference, the one thing that bugged me a little bit was, and I think this is where they're going, is they've done more of almost like a digital event.
Yeah,
It's
there
like-
was hardly any
Razzmatazz.
actual gameplay as well. People, you know, where everyone used to come out with controllers and be like, we're going to play this game
Which is
right
cheesy.
now.
I'm glad they got rid
It is
of
really cheesy, but it is also nice, and it feels authentic for them to come out and be like, we're excited about playing this game for you right now live, because that gets you really hyped up and you're like, oh my god, there's a game, we're close to being able to play this ourselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, this time it was kind of just trailers with a little bit of chat and some trailers.
There was a bit more focus this year on, well, not more focus, but at least we've got some more games coming to the PlayStation VR.
Yeah, they had to do that.
They are supporting it, and we've got things like Star Child by Playful, we've got The Inpatient, again by the same creators who done Hidden Agenda, Supermassive Games. We've got Bravo Team and Moss, and Super Hot, Skyrim VR, and Monster of the Deep Final Fantasy 15. So there's loads of content there coming for the PlayStation VR, and I think, you know, that shows that they are supporting it. I'd like to see some bigger games, some more games. Moss seems to be getting a lot of kind of praise for it. It seems to be really good. It's like a storybook type of thing. And yes, Super Hot, that's a big one for gamers on VR.
Yeah,
People
I
excited.
actually was really looking forward to The Impatient.
Yeah.
Because that is set in the same universe as Until Dawn, which I loved on PlayStation 4. So I think it's set like 60 years or something
60
before
years.
the events of Until Dawn, when the insane asylum basically was still running and you're a patient there. It looks so cool. That's absolutely up my street. Like they've kind of just been like, what did Katrina like best about Until Dawn?
They made a game for it.
And then they were like, let's just do it. So
The really cool thing was with the headset, they've got it so when you were walking through, I told you this before, when you're walking through, if you talk to one of the characters through the headset, they hear it and they respond
you're meant
to
to be able to use the microphone to kind of progress things as well.
Yeah, really cool.
In the game.
So yeah, exciting for that. I think there was a couple of other things. Shadow of the Colossus is getting remade by Bitpoint Studios.
I didn't play it the first time round, so.
Yep, Blue Point Studio, sorry. And we've also got Horizon Zero Dawn and Uncharted are getting their download packs, so the Frozen Wilds and the Lost Legacy. So I think it was a pretty good conference from Sony. Was it amazing? I think they were going the more digital route. It took away some of the excitement, but I think that's where it's going. And they did have loads of games. It felt like more like an interim sort of year.
Yeah,
It's like
definitely.
Just bolstering the
But
console.
to be fair to them in that respect, at least they did give us some games. That was what it was all about. People complaining that there wasn't enough razzmatazz and things to do with the conference. If you think about it, what it comes down to is the games. They showed off the games. There probably weren't as many new ones as we would have all liked, and I would have wanted to see The Last of Us 2, because that is something that everyone's really, really looking forward to. But fair enough, we know what's happening. That's good enough for me.
Exactly. So that's it for those two. We're going to take a break right now. When we come back after a short break, we'll be carrying on with Nintendo's E3 or digital highlight, and we'll go on over some of the third-party content that we saw at E3 this year. Stay tuned, we'll catch you in a minute. Hello and welcome back. We're going to carry on with our E3 post impressions, what we thought about the games. We've already covered Xboxes and the PlayStation 4 presentation. We're going to jump straight in now with Nintendo. I know this is not a strong one, but it's my one with the Switch, obviously. So we'll jump into that. We'll go over some of the stuff in Nintendo's and some of the third-party content from Ubisoft, EA, and Bethesda. And yeah, let's jump straight into it. So, Nintendo, Kat, was there anything that caught your eye for Nintendo? I know your sister's got a Switch.
Yes, she does. So I have actually played one other than being here, which is nice. For me, I think Super Mario Odyssey looked really cool. Actually, I liked Super Mario Galaxy. I was really, really bad at it. Like, I'm really bad at Mario games anyway, but I was really bad at Galaxy. But this one does look really cool. I really like the style of it, so I would be interested to have a look at that when there's more.
I think that's their big game. It was the big focus for this E3, and I think it's made a lot of people quite happy that it looks like it's going to be a great game. The fact that you can control Cappy, it's got a lot of content into it. We got to see a little bit more. Look, it actually looks really, really cool. It's something that, like, I wasn't particularly that bored about it myself, but after watching E3 stuff, I'm a little bit more interested. And the fact that it's coming out October the 27th, I think it is, that's pretty impressive. I thought maybe it get delayed, but it's coming, so
that's another good one for the Switch as well.
Yep. The other ones we saw from Nintendo was Xenoblade Chronicles 2. It was good to see that again. The fact that they're still saying it's a winter release, we've not got an exact date, so I'm still worried that's going to get delayed into 2018. Games that are coming in 2018 though: Kirby, Yoshi, Metroid Prime 4, potentially 2018. But Metroid Prime 4, that was a big one. That was probably the biggest one of their show, along with Pokemon RPG by Game Freak. Announcing them, that got people crying online and everything. They were like, it was like the Shenmue scenario. Metroid Prime. We only saw a logo though, so it's not really telling us anything. So until we see actual footage, I think what was more exciting and what was more nice about that was the confirmation that we're getting them.
Yeah, that's what I was saying with Microsoft. Even just to, like, I know it's just a picture of a logo. Even just doing that though will make everyone hyped, and it makes everyone happier, so much happier, just to know something is being worked on.
Exactly. Now, the other big one was for the 3DS, during the Treehouse Live event, they announced Metroid Samus Returns. So this is a remake of essentially Metroid 2, The Return of Samus, or Samus Returns, to make sure I get that right. And it's by Sakamoto, so he is involved in this one, and apparently he's been wanting to make this for a while now. And there was the Samus, or the Metroid AMR, I think it was called. Is that right, Anton? Anton's at the side here. AMR, I think it was. And that got shut down. It was a fan project. And Nintendo shut it down. Everyone was kind of up in arms about it. And it's because, obviously, this was getting made and don't want it to compete or be taken away from that. So that's looking amazing. They've got a really cool limited edition bundle coming in Europe, and the US is a little bit less cool. We're getting the cool one. And they had some new amiibos for it, the Metroid amiibo, which looks really, really cool.
I have got a 3DS. I don't really play it that much. The last game I got for it was the latest Rhythm Paradise, which I like those games, so they can keep making those. But it's good to see. I know the Switch has been really successful for them, but it's nice that they're still supporting the 3DS. Because I wish that Sony would do that with the Vita.
That's not happening. what I'd say with the Switch is there's been a lot of people online. I've been like reading loads of comments and forums about this. People are worried because there was hardly any third-party content, and there wasn't some of the big games like Call of Duty, those types of games coming to the Switch. I genuinely believe what Nintendo's done is they know the failings of the other consoles, and they need to get third-party developers back on board. And the only way they're going to get is with a viable install base. So I think they've actually resolved the fact that the Switch is going to need them to just support it for the first year. So the first year, and this is why we're seeing all the big titles coming out and the announcements for Metroid and Pokemon. So
more people are going to keep buying.
Well, exactly. So the machine's going to sell. It's selling amazingly already. And for the first year, that's what they've kind of set their mind on, is we're going to support it fully for the first year. Get all the big games in it, and everyone's going to buy it. And there'll be an install base, 15, 20 million after the first year, which is incredible. And third parties like Psyonix and other ones will start jumping on board because it'll be a business viable option for them.
Well, you already know about like Skyrim. Coming to the Switch.
Skyrim's coming,
So that in itself is something that somebody would want. And that was just like announced with the Switch. So we know for a fact that there are going to be more third parties, especially once Skyrim's on. Everyone will see how successful that was. That'll keep pushing it as well.
Definitely. Right, let's move on to Ubisoft. They had a couple of big games. Obviously, we got Mario and Rabbids. They opened it up with Shigeru Miyamoto and Yves Guillemot.
That looked really cool, actually.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was quite cool. It was really awkward with like the way they were talking because one was French and one was Japanese, and you couldn't understand each other. There was a lot of, but it was exciting. It was fun, and I think that's what Ubisoft's whole conference this year. It seemed a little bit more about fun, a bit more passion. Probably because they've got Vivendi on their backs ready to buy them out potentially with a hostile takeover. But I really like the fact they put a bit more effort on the developers this year and a bit more of the content. They got rid of Aisha Taylor. Yeah, and so I think some people would have actually liked that. But yeah, Mario and Rabbids, it looks cool. It looks like an XCOM type game. So some people are excited about that.
And I hear that Rabid Peach has got her own Instagram
Has she?
account. Yeah, which is really weird. So,
if you've checked out, let us know. We've got the main ones that we kind of knew about, Assassin's Creed Origins set in Egypt. It just looked like an Assassin's Creed to me.
Yeah, just in Egypt. That's what it looked like to me as well.
I'm sure people are excited about that. They've got the Crew 2, which looks like it's got a bit more types of vehicles in there now. We've got planes, biplanes, all that kind of stuff, motorbikes around the world as well. They've done some sort of kind of Inception type thing where the world was folding. Don't know what that's about. We've got the best one, South Park, The Fractured Butthole. Such a child. Just Dance 2018, that's the big one.
The biggest
The
one.
biggest one.
Yeah.
Actually, it's actually really fun. I actually tried the demo.
Just Dance has always been really, really good. I really like them. I think I tried the demo on the Kinect a few years ago with my sisters at Christmas when we were all at home. Thought it was great, and then over the next few years, every Christmas I would just buy that for us to all share, and we would play it every Christmas.
Now, one of the other surprises, we've got Far Cry 5, we've got to see more content for that. We've got Steep, The Road to Olympics, again, same sort of type of thing. And there was two sort of big ones. There was Starlink Battle for Atlas, which is like their sort of follow-up to Skylanders, where you've got attachments that go into your controllers. So it's for the Switch, Xbox, PlayStation 4. And these little ships attached in their modular designs. Looks cool. We'll have to wait and see what it's like. Beyond Good and Evil 2 that got shown just in a CGI trailer. However, Michael Ansel has been online since then. There was a 40-minute demo, sorry, where he's actually showed some of the engine in action, and it looks pretty impressive. It showed you him flying up to space. It showed you the scale of like the environment and the things within the environment, the cities, how fast the ship went. That looks really, really cool. So a really good presentation for them. What do you think of it yourself, Kat?
Way better than last year.
Yeah.
Way better. So I think they've kind of like got the gist now that they're not supposed to have Aisha Taylor out there just making terrible, terrible jokes all night. Moving
on to Bethesda. We'll just go over these quickly. Skyrim, we knew about that anyway, Switch. Yeah, so we've got Doom VFR. We've also got Fallout 4 VR, which looks like it's coming to the HTC Vive, but there's rumours of a PlayStation VR version, which would really cool. We've got The Evil Within 2, Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus.
Yeah.
Dishonored download content, which was called Death of the Outsider.
Yeah,
excited about that?
I am quite actually, yeah, because it's a totally different spin on things. Because the Outsider is kind of, I see him as kind of a friend, but he's supposed to be sort of like a friend foe. He's never really for sure on your side. So it's really interesting. I think you play as, is it Dowd as well from the first game?
I don't know.
I think there's something to do with Dowd who you played as. In the first game, that could be a spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert!
In the DLC, you play as him for the first game anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, some cool stuff. Again, for virtual reality, looking cool that they're supporting that. And yeah, the last one was Quake Champions. That's their online competitive type game. But the biggest thing for me was Fallout 4 VR. That looked really cool.
Yeah, that does
playing
look
that in
amazing.
first person with the Pip-Boy and stuff. Nice
Because
stuff.
obviously we've heard like rumours of it, but it's nice to see it get confirmed.
Yep. And let's just move on quickly then to EA. It's like EA was the worst presentation for me for E3 this year.
They're always pretty bad for me purely because of EA Sports.
Well, it was the football guys, the two guys that came on. I'm sure people that are into the football will love this. But they just came across really corny and cheesy, trying to be funny, and it was just terrible. But yeah, they had obviously Star Wars Battlefront 2. That was one of the ones we knew about.
Good, yeah.
Need for Speed Payback. We've got their Madden 18, FIFA 18, where it looks like they've now got single player sort of kind of campaigns now where you grow up from being an amateur to a professional. Looks all right if you're into that kind of stuff. Same with NBA Live 18, looks good. The biggest one though for them was Anthem. Looks amazing.
Yeah,
for me,
I will agree. It looks cool. I did watch the kind of gameplay demo of that, and I couldn't tell if the voices were coming from people who were playing it,
game.
or if it was in the game, if they were the characters talking, or if
Yeah.
it was the people who were playing as the characters, because a lot of it's focused on real people coming and playing with you, I think.
Yeah.
So, am I right with that?
I don't know.
Because
I'll have to check it back again.
I honestly, I was watching it and I wasn't watching the conference live or anything, so I kind of just went through and was like, I'll watch the gameplay demo of this. And when I watched that, I was like, oh, this looks really, really cool actually, sort of what Mass Effect could have been as well. But then the other people that were coming into it seemed like real people, not in the game characters. So
Probably was then, yeah.
I was really confused about that because
Yeah.
they didn't.
We'll have to check that out.
Yeah, but otherwise it looks really cool. It's just the way they were narrating what they were going to do. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's not something that a character would do in a game.
That's some of our impressions for E3 2017 this year with myself and Kat. Let us know in the comments what you thought of the shows, the presentations. What was your favourite games and what would you like to see going forward? Would you like to see some demos? And yeah, we'll read out some of the comments next episode. Let's move on to next. Coming up is the competition and Connor's got his review, so stay tuned for that.